my dad always has these crazy sayings. I remember him saying some girl with huge tits when we walked by. He said, "Well, she's never fallen on her face a day in her life."
This is Ben from Common Knives, and you're listening to the High Carbon Podcast.
Welcome everyone to the High Carbon Podcast. Just the three of us tonight. I will be heading to the U.S. Next week, so Paulie and Albert will have to find a guest or hold the fort down by themselves.
Oh no.
Oh no, don't sweat it, boss. You got it.
sure you'll
You
manage
got it.
it.
It's the summer. It's the
Got it.
summer. We can do, easy peasy. Everybody's on vacation. We can, just chill back, get back and relax. Talk some BS. It will be fine. It will be fine.
I saw a little post that you did today, Paulie, about some Ultem scales that you're working on, and I wanted to tell our listeners, you guys already saw, but I had a special request to get some blocks cut, and I didn't have enough finished, and I hate cutting Ultem because I use a carbide blade on my table saw, but when I cut the big thick blocks, like the plastic shavings and stuff from cutting seem to back up, and I guess they get pretty hot in there, probably because of the fan like blowing through them, and the blade I'm using has pretty good spacing between the teeth, like almost a centimeter, and I didn't really notice it till the next time I went to use my saw. I turned the thing on, and the blade wouldn't even turn. It was jammed shut. So take everything apart, clean it all out. You guys saw the blade. I didn't even try to get that stuff off. I just put a backup blade I had on there, and I think the problem was that blade is a done. It's just not cutting anymore. The other one cut so nice, and it didn't freeze up and like melt shit in it. But I was wondering if Paulie, when you do all your machine work on Ultem, do you like notice the same problems, like when bits get worn or something like that, or is it tough to get a good finish on them?
First of all, question is the new blade the used blade from the company that you told about?
Yeah, it's a new used blade. It's been sharpened, but it was told that that's the last time you can sharpen it, so I got it before they threw it away.
So I guess a minute of silence would be terrible on a podcast, but that blade that died served really, really well for 3 years, right?
Yeah, I'm hanging it on the wall because it looks cool.
Yeah, it sure looks cool. But I mean, it got like, I don't know, kilometers of G10, very abrasive material, and it died from plastic.
So, exactly, yeah.
So sad. So sad.
I guess it was pretty dead already for a while. Just didn't notice it as much until you get to the plastic stuff.
When machining Ultem, right? It's like any other plastic. It's, even though it has a quote unquote a higher melting point, it machines really similar as polycarbonate. As we are working, it like gets a lot of friction heat, and even though it is tougher and has higher melting point, it does not really matter in this use case because the temperatures are way higher. Like if you're using it as a handle scale, yes, you feel those properties, but when machining nana, so you have to the most critical things that you have to calculate is the like the width of cut, and like how big of a chip you are taking and how fast you are doing that, because if you are cutting it too fast, it takes all the heat and it could start melting around your end mill, yada yada. Even if you don't have adequate chip evacuation, then you are in the big poo-poo town, which is really, really bad, and you have like this gnarly surface finish. So yeah, I have separate machining protocols, let's say programs, with different speeds and feeds to machine it. But one of the best things with Ultem is that even though it looks kind of rough when machined, it polishes up so nicely. It's just so nice to polish up. Even like polycarbonate, it has a lower melting temperature. It does not polish up as nicely, and I guess it's because it is a little bit more flexible, and somehow the toughness and the hardness and the higher melting temperature really helps with polishing Ultem. So yeah, and together with the big plates that I'm buying from you, I don't have to cut anything. Yeah, these things are expensive. Albert was showing the money sign. Yeah, these things are expensive because it's a lot of material, but all of the cutting is done with an end mill, which is basically carbide, and you have just dial it in, know what end mills you are using, because for every end mill you choose a different speed and feed depending on how many flutes and the diameter, blah blah blah, and it works out in the end. It's a wonderful, easy to work with material if you know what you are doing. But in the past, I used to cut them with my portaband, and I noticed that a few it's like bigger TPI, so less tooth per inch, and slower speed. Perfect. It's perfect. And if you are running a little bit too fast, you can see these chips going onto the blade, and they are sticking. When they are coming back around, they are already stuck, and they hit the material, and they create more frictional heat, and you have a very bad surface finish on the ends and very bad time when cutting it. So
What's the melting temperature of Ultem? Do you know that?
I don't remember. I don't. No.
I looked it
Yeah.
up earlier today, real quick. Depending on the grade, it's between 170 and like 220, but there's a few different grades.
Okay.
But what Paulie described is what my blade looked like with the last few cuts I was doing. It was like shooting snot off the blade, almost like if you ever played with silly string before, with that stuff you shoot out of the can. It's like a spray of that across the blade. And like you said, as soon as it hits the plastic, it just kind of hardens up right in that spot. And you, like you said, you're cutting old stuff and making more friction.
And your blade in that picture looked so terrible. It's like the blade had a diaper full of Macroflex, and it's just terrible.
Do you use coolant when you're machining it, Polly?
I don't use coolant now at all. Everything is dry machined, and I have a very good vacuum to remove all of the dust from the air. So, but in the far future, I hope to get a fully float coolant on a normal machine and just filter out the debris from the coolant tank. But that's in the far future when I have a good machine.
How does the coolant affect stuff like micarta though? Or do they have a special kind of coolant that you can use? Like, wouldn't you be worried that stuff would get impregnated in the handle and not glue well?
Nah. I mean, first of all, I don't glue any of my handle skills, right? Oh, let's start with that. But takes care of that. But I don't think that, like, if you are right to think that, to doubt that micarta could really suck in, some liquids. But in my mind, it's such a microscopic level. And especially if you have the underside of the scale, right, where you have no exposed fibers. And of course, these fibers go into immense, 6 or 16 tons pressure with epoxy, right? Really big pressure. They are fully impregnated with that epoxy. So, yeah, and the underside is totally flat with no exposed fibers. So if you do some small cleanup on like a disc grinder, clean up the bottom, you remove any of the contaminants, clean them up quickly with some, let's say, window cleaner, and you are good to go to do glue up. But yeah, unless you want, I guess all of the scales go through secondary processing after machining, be it polishing, be it sandblasting, or anything else. So that kind of removes the contamination of the oily cutting oil. But I haven't looked into the world of coolants and different mixtures of coolants. There are so many different coolant kinds. I totally think they have something specific for plastic resins and G10, because I think G10 is used also in like aerospace machining and yada like that. So they would have some really interesting coolants for that.
And when you get into some of the better grades of micarta, like from Ultrex and stuff like that, they have the factory finish usually has kind of a sealed layer on it, instead of some of the cheaper stuff will have like a raw, almost like sanded finish to it. I think that would definitely suck in more coolant than the Ultrex would.
Ultrex, I mean, after starting using Ultrex, I don't want to use any kind of other micarta. They are very extremely consistent. The finish, I mean, it looks like how you get the plates. It looks like they are coming straight from the press, I think.
Yeah.
But you would imagine that they would get closer to the textile fabric itself, but there is like a consistent layer of epoxy on top and on the bottom, and they are pretty straight, and yeah, they are very consistent materials. I used some of the other micartas that you can get in Europe that are made by makers or by smaller companies. And when you are machining them, they look very similar. But when you are starting to sandblast them, you start to find some voids and other things that kind of really disrupt the look of the finished product. So I just when you start using material and the quantities that I am using, you just don't want to do any guesswork.
Have
Yeah,
you ever tried making micarta yourself when you were starting out, Polly?
Look, there is a pair of jeans
Yeah.
that I was keeping but I never got to it.
Okay.
I never got to it. Nah. Did you?
Of course I did.
Oh, you did?
I was
Well,
I was so cheap when I started out. I even calculated how much a self-made or homemade set of micarta scales is going to cost me.
really?
Yeah, I bought fabric from IKEA, and then
Oh my god.
I built a press curtain fabric, a
Yeah.
dark brown one, and it's such a messy procedure because you have this epoxy everywhere. You have to press it, right? So it squeezes out all the epoxy, but not
Yeah.
all of it, but a lot of it. So it's such a mess. So the whole floor was covered in epoxy.
Oh, I think there is a maker. Fuck! I totally forget. He's from USA. He does these crosscut micartas that look really interesting. I think his and Sons.
J.L.
Jeez.
Hansen and Son.
Yes, exactly that guy. And he used to do like lives, and I would watch them. And he had
Yeah.
like 20 centimeters pile of epoxy on his floor. And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, yeah, I know, I'm doing it out of passion. Nobody is going through this mess, just to make this kind of micarta. I am totally sure.
I mean, it's definitely not worth it because when I made my press, I made a press for, let's say, 30 centimeters by 60 centimeters handle scales or micarta sheets, and it's so labor intensive, and you need so much epoxy. It's simply not worth it. But the handle scales turned out nice. I've started by using this IKEA fabric, as I said, and then I used paper liners. So I bought green craft paper, and then I laminated the fabric on top. So I had they had the liner material laminated to the actual fabric or the handle scales, the micarta handle scale. So it was nice, but then it got all wonky if the pressure was uneven, so it wasn't flat at all. And then I made the press out of wood, so the wood also had some give in it. So but it was fun. I still have the press, but I've only made like I think 4 or 5 of these handle scales.
All right. This is horrible for a podcast, but I had this hanging on my wall. This is the very first knife that I ever made. You guys have never seen this. This is pretty embarrassing. Paulie's gonna love this. Check out that. Check that out.
Love
it. I don't know how good the picture's gonna be. It's super dusty, but it's like black micarta with a red liner. Same thing like you did, all one piece.
Oh, lovely.
Horrible.
I mean, for a first knife, it is not that bad.
No,
okay,
it's hard.
It's hard to see on.
The handle's a bit short. Yeah,
it's a little bit short. Yeah,
they call it a 3-finger knife. It's fine. It's all the trend.
Feature. It's a feature.
Yeah, it's a feature. I mean, talking about these processes, I think I was really thinking about getting into wood stabilizing, but when I was starting out, I'm like, I'm not gonna buy like what the fuck, like 20-60 euros for one block. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna pay that. It's just wood. I'm gonna buy wood, and then I never got into it because you get into like you have to dry it, then you have to prepare it properly, cut it up not into small pieces. And you know me, I would cut it up into small pieces because you get more handle scales from it, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to put it into vacuum, put it into like a pressure pot, then you have to bake it and blah, 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 and you need to be sure about it that it is totally fine. And you have different species of woods that have different problems, and I never got into it.
I mean, we still do our wood stabilizing for some woods. So for Turkish walnut, we still do it because Turkish walnut, if you want to buy it stabilized, is very expensive. But you can get the unstabilized wood blocks directly from Turkey, and then it's worth it because you roughly need about €5 of resin per piece or per wood block, and the wood block costs like 10 to 15 euros, and you for €20 you have a, not counting the labor and the electricity and stuff you need, but still, I mean, we use it a lot. But for other woods, it doesn't make sense. For birch, for instance, I mean, it's so cheap at Keith's, it doesn't make sense because if you want to get that kind of birch, messer birch, with that kind of quality, you pay almost as much as you would pay for a stabilized one if you want to buy it or get it over here. But we still do it, and it's a bit different because it's not as messy as making your own micarta. Because you have to use the pressure, but you have to use the vacuum chamber, then the pressure pot, and it's all in containers and stuff. And if you don't spill the resin, it's not a messy process, or not as messy. Still somewhat messy, but not as messy.
Did you start stabilizing because of the cost of the blocks?
Of course.
That's the number one key. Everybody, listen, there's nothing wrong with doing stuff on your own, but at some point you get to a place where it just doesn't make sense anymore. You got way better stuff to do with your time. That's way more profitable than worrying about saving $2 to $4 on a block of stabilized wood.
Yeah. Look, I mean, you're right. I mean, we buy most of our handle blocks or wood from you, as you know. So we have a flat rate. You send us like a package every other month. But for some pieces, we still do it ourselves. And there's always customers. I mean, I've had quite a few, and also people who want to do a class with us, not just customers who order a knife from us, who have their own wood, let's say from their garden or farm or whatever. And they want to have a handle made out of it. So, and for them, we do it.
Yeah, that's cool when you have a cool story to go behind it.
Yeah, I once had 2 customers from Styria who were getting married, and they cut down an apple tree in their garden. They wanted me to use the wood of their apple tree for their hunting knives they gave each other for their wedding or as wedding presents. And that you have a story behind that, and it makes the knife much more personal, I think, if you can do that, right? Because if we weren't able to do our stabilizing ourselves, I would have told them, or I had to tell them that that they just have to pick what we have in our shop, and it would have made for a less personal knife or knives, I think. But still, it's a lot of work, and it's for most of our stuff or most of our knives, it's not worth it to do it ourselves. That's true. Yeah.
So, Paulie, one other thing, you sent us a cool video in our group chat. There's a company that's on Instagram called Futuron Forge, and in the video that you sent, they were using an ultrasonic tester to test Damascus for voids and stuff like that. Really cool idea. I never heard anybody doing that before. I checked out the tool that they were using. It's around $1,500, but they sell like some cheaper ones online. You can get from like 300 up, or some used ones. But I think that's an awesome idea for you, Albert, checking out steel and stuff like that. I mean, you guys have been doing it long enough.
I found one for 500. That was the first thing I did when I saw the video.
Yeah.
I googled the machine they were using.
I mean, look, it's kind of expensive, and I know you guys have your process down and the huge press that you got and power hammers and all that. I'm sure that you don't run into the problems that often. But for some of these bigger companies, if people are spending all this money on Damascus, and then you get one piece with an inclusion in it, you're probably less likely to want to order from them again. So it's not really a bad idea if you already have the tool in here.
Bro, I'm so close to buying one of these machines.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it's like when you run into an inclusion or some bullshit
but
after all that work.
We don't need it though. But yeah, I want to have it because it's such a cool idea. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But look, here's what happened this week. I was grinding. I do the grinding for some other knife makers, right? So they pay me and I do their bevel grinding. And one of these guys, he sends in so many knives. I mean, he must be pretty good at selling them, because otherwise he would not send in that much or that many. So he sent in a piece of Damascus steel, laminated steel from China. Okay, he bought from a big Austrian retailer, and it's supposed to be some powder Damascus steel, like normal steel. And I was grinding the bevels first, I was so
Stainless.
mad. Stainless, yes.
Okay.
I mean, at least that's what they claim.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't look that stainless to me when I was grinding and cooling it, to be honest, but whatever. They claim that it's stainless. And first thing, I was so mad in the grinding room, I called the guy. I was standing at the grinding and called the guy and said, tell your Chinese smiths next time they forge Damascus for you, they should center the core, because the core was off center by a lot. So I had to grind uneven bevels to hit the core.
Okay.
That annoys the shit out of me. First thing. Second thing, it started delaminating on me. 2 spots on the blade and I think 3 spots on the handle because it was a full tank.
Yeah.
So I surface grounded first and it started delaminating on me when I was grinding it. So I told him not just that they should not just center the core, but they should also try to forge steel that doesn't delaminate. So they could have used, or they should have used such a machine. It annoys me because it's not cheap either. Even if you buy it from China, you have your import company here in Austria, then you buy it from the retailer in Austria. And at the end of the day, you spend like, let's say 150 euros for a billet for one chef knife, right?
Yeah.
And he could have gotten steel from a local company over here because there is no point in returning the steel if
Right.
it's from China, right?
For like $50 more, and then it would have been.
Yeah.
And if something happened like that, you would have just put another piece of steel
Exactly.
inside grinding it.
When we started selling steel, I mean, we've had complaints. I mean, some complaints were due to
User error
or customer error. For example, if the core cracked while heat treating, it's not our problem. But right, if you do your own heat treatment, and especially with Apex and stainless cladding, so Apex core stainless cladding, it can happen that the core cracks, right? Or the stainless cladding tears apart the core. So that's a common problem, especially if you do cold treatment like cryo or even deep freezing or whatever.
Before you keep going, and I've heard some people say if they don't temper it immediately afterwards, or if they like leave it for a day and come back and temper it, that they have had more failures that way.
I've heard that too. But even with customers who did that, we just sent them a new piece of steel, right?
Yeah.
Try that with a Chinese company.
Right.
One question about the blank. I guess these were pre-heat heat treatment grinds.
Yeah, pre-heat treatment. Yeah. The blades weren't heat treated.
So it can be, I mean, stainless without heat treatment can corrode. Really depends on the grade.
I know.
Yeah, but I guess you saw something that looked like more of a carbon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the smell. Carbon steel has a very specific smell when you are grinding it. It smells sour compared to good stainless.
Yeah, I'm not claiming that it wasn't stainless. I mean, the water, the cooling water might have been contaminated or whatever. So I'm not claiming that it wasn't stainless. But what I'm claiming is that it delaminated on several areas on the blade. So that's not an opinion. So you could see that, right? That the core was off center. You could also see that if you looked down at the spine, you could see that the core wasn't centered properly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it might have something to do with the forging process or with the surface grinding process, because it's always you always have to be careful when you surface grind laminates, because you have to take off the same amount of material on both sides. Otherwise, you would surface grind the core off center. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not an opinion, or that wasn't.
Now I have a lot of questions. First of all, so Albert, you're offering bevel grinding services?
Yes, for some knife makers, I do their bevel grinding. Yes,
for some knife makers.
Yeah, not
some.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but
you have to know me for me to do that for you.
I've seen you in the real life, so I kind of know you from. But like, okay, but can they? So you can do any grinds they want. Yeah, like simple grinds, right? If I bring you a hunting knife, you can do a hunting knife, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, me as a customer who is ordering the service, like I provide all the blanks, right? Harden it, unharden it. I guess it does not really matter to you. It's just grinding, right?
Yeah.
Does it, like, can I specify a specific edge thickness and like a bevel height?
Yeah, they do that. So when I get a blank from this guy, he wrote down 0.6 millimeters at the edge.
Wow, that's a chunky boy.
Yeah, that's a chunky boy, and it was a chef knife. So
That's even worse. Huh?
and it's even worse. And he doesn't do any grinding post heat treat because he can't do that. So that's a chunky boy. And then I looked up the steel and the recommendations for how thick the edge should be before heat treatment or before hardening, let's say. And the recommended edge thickness before hardening is 1 millimeter.
Oh wow!
So even the thickness he specified was too thin for. But I don't care. I don't do his heat treatment, so he sends it off someplace else. I just do the bevel grinding. But on a chef knife, I mean, I told the guy that's ridiculous. If you want to make a good chef knife, send me the heat treated blade, and I do the post heat treat. I do a post heat treatment grind on the chef knife. But yeah,
I mean, even the grocery store kitchen knives are thinner than that.
yeah,
Yep, at the spine.
Yeah. Because it's
some at
just
the
like
spine. Yeah,
not even ground. They just do a fucking edge on a thin piece of steel.
Yeah. But like Albert, so I can I like give you a drawing? Let's imagine I'm a customer, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm interested how you do it. Can I like give you a technical drawing with a specific like plunge line angle, and like if it is a saber grind, can you hit that line with a specific edge thickness? Or do you have like deviants and like it's fine until it's symmetrical?
on the chef knives, it's usually a full flat they want me to do with straight plunge lines. So the easy the easy grind. It's not that easy either, because if you're not careful, you over grind, right? And you have this. We all have seen these knives with this.
Yeah.
Drop.
A little wonky bend.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I usually try to avoid that, and I usually avoid it. If I fuck up, then I just hit it on the surface grinder, take off like 1/10 of a millimeter, and I do the grind again and fix it. But this hasn't happened in a while. But yeah, what I do on hunting knives usually is they specify the height of the bevels. Yeah, I mean they don't send in a technical drawing. They just use a Sharpie and tell me where.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
The grind should stop. Yeah.
Yeah, and can I as a customer select a specific surface finish, like
grid-wise?
120p?
Yeah,
like,
sure. Yeah. I mean, usually it's my responsibility to decide that. Usually,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's your responsibility.
Yeah, they start hand sanding with 120. So
this was my next question. Can you do a hand sanded finish?
I mean, we've done that. I think I've told you guys on the podcast, or I've talked about this on the podcast, so that sometimes, and now again we have an order for hand sanded edged blade, finished, edged, everything, and the customer just wants to attach the handle and grind handle, of course, and stuff. So yes, but it's not worth it, because you pay almost as much as you would for a finished knife, but some people insist, especially woodworkers. I'm good with wood. I have this pile of wood at home. I want to attach my own handle to it. But yeah, go ahead. Be my guest.
But it really makes sense, if you have let's say you have a design in mind, but you don't have the tools to do like metal working, right? But you want to do the handle, but your own design. You don't want to buy a blank from anybody. Yeah. It's a very nice service that you can offer, unless somebody asks to do like 50 Apex Ultra knives that are hand-sanded.
I mean, I still would do that.
You would do that? Yeah,
but like the money.
It's gonna be expensive though. Yeah.
It's got like in my mind it needs to be hugely expensive, because I would hate myself every minute hand sanding those knives that are not even mine.
Yeah, I mean, I've hand sanded 60 RWR 34 steak knives, so I don't mind hand sanding that much. So
isn't like RWL kind of nice to finish?
No.
Have
you ever hand sanded an RWR 34? It takes a very nice surface finish. This steel, but it's a pain in the ass to hand sand.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just because of the hardness. I haven't hand sanded a lot of knives.
Yeah, because of the hardness. Yeah.
Yeah, because I hate it so much. I don't.
Did you say any knives or a lot of knives?
A lot of knives.
Okay.
Like this year, I haven't hand sanded any knives. Last year, no knives. Maybe 3 years ago, I did hand sand a full chef knife in ABL that was like 62, 63 HRC. which I did only for fun. And then before that, in my early knife making days, I only hand sand that ATCR V2. It's just super easy, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing is like butter compared to stainless steel. Or I'd never thought about hand sanding Magna Cut or anything similar.
I've tried.
No. You tried?
Yeah, sure. I've made one Magna Cup blade. The only Magna Cup blade I've ever made. I'm not gonna make another one.
Why not? Too warpy?
Too warpy. Then I think I broke one or two. So yeah.
Oh, was it a kitchen knife?
No, a hunting knife.
Do you do any like stainless steel kitchen knives?
Of course,
like
we do.
in quantity. Oh no, like not one and two.
Define quantity.
More than 10 in like half a year.
No.
So not a lot. No, but
No.
do you do? So what is your go-to like stainless steel? Do you have one?
RWR 34. And if I'm prototyping, so with the double hook grind and the hook hollow grinds, we've done some prototyping, and then I used N690 because it's cheap. That was the only reason why.
Wait, N690 is super nice steel. I love it. Not only because it's not expensive, but it's really good. It's way better than ABL for what I am using it. It's good. It's good steel. But don't nod your head side to side. It's a good steel. It's not the best, but it's a good all rounder.
No, it's a decent steel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and super extremely like what I value is the ease of sharpenability.
Easy to sharpen. Yeah, that's true. I agree.
It's like if my customers will use it, they will need to sharpen it. In the future, sure, I will do like Magnamax and M390 in small runs, but these are for kind of different kind of people. N690 is like all rounder. It's good, but it's not like it doesn't have that pizzazz. It's like the Toyota Corolla of steels. It's good enough. It's great. It's not too bad in other places. Shit, and I totally right. I remembered what I wanted to ask. When you do kitchen knives and RWL, do you do heat treatment grinds?
Of course.
How thick do you go? Or is it a secret?
At the edge?
Yeah.
0.5 millimeter?
Okay. So pretty decent. And like the bevel is like halfway up?
Yeah, not even halfway up. I would say like 10 millimeters or maybe 15. So only because we plate quench RWR 34. And it helps if you have two large flat and parallel surface areas for plate quenching.
Do you think it's for the heat dissipation or for reducing warping?
For reducing warpage, yeah.
I've seen a very interesting thing that other makers are doing for especially stainless steel knives. They are grinding them, I think, closer than 0.5 millimeter. So the bevel is pretty high. But what they do, they leave unground ends at the very tip and at the very heel. So it kind of, squeezes it together. And it should mitigate the warping, I guess, because you have contact points. But then the heat dissipation is different because you have smaller contact area.
But we didn't have any warping issues with our WR34. We had warping issues with 14C28N Sandvik. So that warped on us like crazy. And I guess the reason for that is it comes in coils, right? And the steel remembers the shape of the coil. So at least that's what I've heard. And we had warping issues with that, but not with our WR34. That's a super forgiving steel to heat treat, in my opinion. And that's why it's our go-to stainless steel.
But like, I think ABL is also coming in coils. They are making like 500 kilos, like huge quantities of it. I don't know if N690 comes in coils. No idea. But RWL, if I remember correctly, you cannot get a huge sheet, right?
Of course you can.
You can?
Yeah, you can directly from Damasteel. But it's super expensive. The shipping from Sweden, I mean, alone is like, I don't know how much it was. So it didn't make any sense for us to get it directly from Damasteel. So we also...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, you don't... was it 200 euros for shipping?
I forgot, but we're not buying that much. So it wasn't worth it. And as I said, we don't make that many stainless steel blades. But The one we did for Klingen for Gutes 2 years ago. So we did 2 for Klingen for Gutes, and both were made out of RWR34 because Damascus wasn't allowed back then.
I
That's right.
remember.
Gotta follow
I
the rules.
remember this. You have to follow the rules. But going back a little bit back to your like endeavor in bevel grinding for the select few. If I would come and I would ask, could you do a hook grind for me? Would you do it?
You, Paulie?
It
For Paulie, I would do that. Yeah,
okay, excellent. Okay,
but not
okay.
not for some random guy. No.
I'm showing the money sign.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
They say
Yeah.
okay,
But then it's gonna be 400 euros. So
it's fine. It's fine. I mean, if they are selling the knife for 2,000 euros, it's like 400 euro a blade. With a hook grind, it's not that bad. With in-house made Chavon pattern, and they just slap their logo on it, and they'll go like, "Look, this beautiful knife that they made."
yeah, we've had customers who did that. Who bought?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've told you guys on the. I mean, maybe you weren't on the podcast yet, but maybe it was Matt back then. But I've told the story on the podcast that we had a customer who bought completely finished Damascus blades from us. So hand sanded, edged, ground, heat treated everything. And he attached a handle to it, and he told the customer that he forged the steel himself, and he showed him pictures from our shop. So claiming that it
remember.
was his shop. Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me working.
This has happened to us. Yeah.
Okay. And what is your stance on that? Do you think that is? I mean, the knife is good, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Maybe the handle is a little wonky. The blade is good, right? You can
Mhm.
you can agree on that. But it's like in industry, I think it's called OEM, like the original blah 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 manufacturer,
Mhm.
where the maker is like nameless, and the person who is selling it, they put their name on it, which is kind of the industry normal, right?
Mhm.
But I guess in that case, like if you would knew in advance that would happen, right? Let's say a person comes in with a totally unique their design, right? It's not one of yours.
It was our design, by the way, Paulie. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's imagine, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If somebody comes to you like says, I want 50 of those knives. These are the designs. Could you
Mhm.
make like the blades themselves, heat treat them, sharpen them? I don't know if you offer a sharpening service, but
Sure, we do. Yeah.
with the right amount of money, everything is possible. Would you price it differently?
Yeah.
Than like how much more in percentage wise would you ask, knowing that your name wouldn't be on it?
Good question. At least 20 to 30%.
Oh wow, so much?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. If the guy claims he forged the steel himself and stuff, so he's lying to his customers, isn't
Oh,
he?
100%.
Yeah.
But let's say they are not saying that they did them themselves, right? But they are just selling this knife, that was made with this process. But they are not saying like, I did it. These were my hands that touched them. Let's say a distributor comes to you, right? And a knife shop, whatever, right? And they are selling loads of knives. And they want just to advertise that this knife was hand forged, blah, blah, blah. And it has our shop name on it, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of ethical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not lying.
If they're not lying, I mean, I'm fine with that. But if they're lying, I'm not. And I don't get why you wouldn't tell your customer who made, let's say, the blade or the steel, right? I mean, we've talked about this before. It's not something to be ashamed about if you buy your Damascus steel or if you buy your finished blade from someplace else, if you don't have the tools or the means or the skills to make it yourself. Depending on where you get it from, it's actually a sign of quality. If you buy, let's say, a blade from Toby Hangler and you make the handle, it's a sign of quality, or it shows some quality. If you say the steel was made by Toby and the blade was made by Toby, or whatever, the Kamono, right? I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed about. I would say it shows even more quality if you mention like a proper steel or forge who made the blade for you. I mean, of course, it doesn't work for all.
And I think there are two types of people in this, like, who are selling something that was made by somebody else, right? And I think they are separated by the word that you used. It was shame. And I think that the people who are proud by who made the things, like the Damascus, the blade, the blah blah blah, they are, and they, they showcase it. They are proud of it. They know what they are buying. You are buying a quality tool, and I think you can see that in the purveyors who are allowing to do collaborations between different makers, right?
Yeah.
And they are actually selling the end product. Still for Good, I think, is one of those, and I totally forget the other guys. Modern Cooking, I think, also does something very similar, and Eating Tools, maybe he is also enabling some collaborations, and these are very good, valid selling points.
Yeah.
And then the people who hide it, these are ashamed from where they get. These are the scumbags that are buying from China, are buying the piece of shit steel, and they are like, I will charge big money and I make big business. People don't care who makes it. And it is a very good and easy telling point when you are surfing somebody's store and you can see there are no details given about the plate, the steel, the hardness, the blah blah. How was it heat treated? Did you do cryo or did not do cryo? Somebody also, I seen some people use cryo as a marketing strategy. Like, ooh, they even laser etch cryo like next to the steel. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm proud of you. You did what you're supposed to do. it's fine, but yeah. Yeah.
In Albert's case, that's kind of weird because you can just scroll through his Instagram and you'll see the pictures of his shop matching up with the pictures the other guy was showing, and also you're the only one making that pattern. Your pattern you can tell because you have a set of rollers that nobody else has. So anybody who tries to sell it as a rune, it's like immediately obvious where it came from.
I mean, we also have awesome customers. Like, let's Smilo Knives, for instance, on Instagram. He makes awesome blades, super clean finish, very nice handles, really, really awesome. He does his own heat treatment, but he mentions us on every knife where he uses one of our billets. He says the steel was made by Salzburger Messerschmiede. And these are the customers I really appreciate and love because, I mean, not only is it like advertisement for us, but also it shows where he got the steel from, and he's being honest about this, right? I mean, he did most of the work himself. He just bought a billet of steel. Most of the clean, or almost all of the clean work, was done by him. We just did the forging. There's nothing wrong with that, I would say.
And those are the guys who come to you last minute for something, and you're willing to maybe push some of your work aside to make sure they get what they need.
Of course, yeah.
I think Camon did a knife with the chevron pattern from you guys also. Huh?
Yeah, come on, awesome. Yeah, he did a very long reel about the chevron my steel he got from us. Yeah. Very nice of him. Yeah.
So Albert, you also had a little mishap this week with some handle material.
Do you really want to talk about this? Fuck me.
Yeah, what happened?
I was flying too close to the sun. I'm making a large slicer for meat out of kumai and an apex core. And since the blade's very thin and very narrow, I wanted to make a very small handle, like a thin handle, so to match the overall aesthetics. Yeah, and I ground through the wood, so I could see the dowel. So I used a very nice piece of, I showed you a picture, I used a very nice piece of buffalo horn with white inclusions. And these are very rare because usually they're just black or have some white parts in it. But this one had a lot of white inclusion, so it looked awesome. But I ground through the wood so that you could see the dowel underneath it. So I tried to fix it first because it was a small hole, and you can fix small holes with tight bond, with very thin tight bond and dust, right? And I was hand sanding the handle, and then the hole got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I just used my nail and ripped open the handle. So I had to start over. And it was with mammoth ivory. So it was buffalo horn, a mammoth ivory liner, and birch.
But I didn't know that you used the dowel system. Is that something you always use, or?
Yeah, on all of the hidden tang knives. Yeah, because it's such an elegant method to make a hidden tang knife. I think, because then you can rotate the handle. You can't do that if you file in, let's say, the slot for your tang. But if you use a dowel, you can rotate it a bit to get the orientation right and everything. So
Yeah, not only like on the facets, but on the grain structure of whatever material you're using.
Yeah.
If you want it to
Yeah.
flow with the Damascus pattern,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
So the first hidden tang knives I made, I used the drilling and filing method. And for
Pain in
one
the
thing,
ass.
it takes forever. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. You have to drill like shitloads of holes, and then you have to use a scraper file to file in the slot. I mean, that just sucks. Drilling a hole is much easier.
But the drawback is it
Yeah.
takes off a lot more material, and
Yeah,
you
of
run
course
that
it does.
risk. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have different sized dowels. So I just could have used an 8mm dowel and then it would have been fine. But I went for a 10mm dowel and yeah, I fucked up. It hasn't happened to me in forever, but yeah, I think the last time this happened was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. So I had to start over yesterday. But
Shit.
yeah, shit. But I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna fix it. I mean, the blade, there's nothing wrong with the blade, so the blade's fine. Heat treated, hand sanded, everything. So I just have to make a new handle.
I also ran into a cool lady on Instagram. She's got like 96,000 followers or something like that. So you guys might even know her. Polly, I would be surprised if you didn't. It's kporter_stuff. She's a mechanical engineer, and she does like mechanical tips of the day. I can send you guys a link. But she just did the first one that I saw was on the different types of stainless steel and what they used for. But she goes through like all kinds of different engineering processes and equipment and materials, and like explains them super well. It's probably going to be a small pause here in the recording while I send this to you. It's really cool page, some interesting stuff that she talks about. Like I said, she's like she's been at like 40 years or something and an engineer, and she like explains stuff like crazy. Just the simplest things, like sometimes it's just rubber gaskets, what they use for pressure that you need to apply in order to get them to seal correctly and everything. Just, I don't know, interesting nerdy stuff.
I did not follow her before, but now I'm instantly following her. kporter_stuff. And by the way, while Albert is gone, you know what? I can already see you telling it. It's skills time. Minihell.eu. This show is sponsored by Minihell.eu. Albert is back, baby. Hello, Anita. But you know what? Minihell also got your back. Baby, they got really good kilns, exceptionally good kilns, and really reasonable prices. You can also get 5% off while you are at the checkout. You can use Carbon 5, the word carbon and the number 5. And while you are buying your stuff on minihell.eu, you can check out some heat treatment foil for maybe heat treating some stainless that we've been talking about today, or racks. Baltazar has really nice racks for carbon steel, batch hardening. And if you don't find anything that suits your needs, maybe you need something way bigger or maybe smaller, you can shoot them an email and Baltazar can build you a totally custom kiln. Maybe you need some multi-area controller with some different temperature sensors, yada. Maybe something really small that gets really hot really fast. 1 phase, 2, 3 phase does not matter for him. He can build it for you. And also tell him carbon 5, you can save 5% and, save a little bit all on already reasonably priced kilns. So minihell.eu, thank you for sponsoring the show. And now, my lads, Albert is back. Let's go back, baby, to the show.
Hello.
Welcome back, my man.
Another thing that happened when I was grinding this blade, this Chinese steel blade, I forgot to tell you guys, but it warped on me and bent like crazy because the core was off center, right? So you had most cladding material on one side, then you had on the other, so you can grind perfectly symmetrical on both sides, and it's still gonna bend. And this happened, so I had like a banana when I was grinding it. So that also annoyed me. So
maybe they are doing stainless steel Damascus knives and coils in China.
Yeah, or maybe the core was off center.
Man.
Yeah,
maybe that
just
was the reason.
Different cooling rates and shit. It's gonna pull it to one side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we didn't talk a whole lot about the ultrasonic tester thing, like what it actually is doing. It's actually they're selling it as a thickness gauge, right? So when you're running that over the steel, it's not specifically searching for inclusions, but you're gonna see um, inconsistencies, I guess, is what it's picking up. So I wonder what the difference is in grades if you actually need the $1,500 one, or if you can get a cheap one and get away with it. I think we're gonna find out soon though when Albert orders his. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are already searching.
I would like to have an X-ray.
Yeah.
Would you be able to see it inside? Like, does it have like the X-ray can see like differences in density, right?
Yeah, but I think that's how they check weld seams with an X-ray, don't they?
Oh,
What
that's
are they
right, yeah.
using? So
That's right. This is where we need Matt.
yeah,
But you're right. I've heard that before.
I'd imagine that it would also work on Damascus steel, but I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know the physics behind it. But we're not gonna buy an X-ray.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the price difference is a little bit.
Yeah, and it's very how does it? It's not poisonous, but it's hazardous.
Hazardous. Yeah,
Hazardous.
hazardous.
So it's
And
not the
you guys-
machine I would want to have in my.
Just be
Oh,
X-ray and everything, just because you
check it
can.
out! I'm X-raying my hand, my arm, my dick.
There is no bone in it. There is no bone in it.
Yeah, see, now we know,
No, we don't.
but now it's not working anymore.
But like Albert, I had like one question about the actual testing, with the ultrasound. Is it like similar as people like a very rudimentary kind of test would be the ring test?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Is it it's kind of similar, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Mm.
The ring test? You mean when you're tapping on the piece of steel?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Sometimes you can hear it if it's not properly forge welded, because it makes like a dull sound.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, of course, it depends on how good the forge welds are. So if there's only a minor, let's say, DLAM, you might not be able to hear it. But if there's a major DLAM in it, so if it's delaminated, like let's say the core didn't forge weld onto the cladding material, you can hear that, I think.
Is that a test that you carry out
No,
on your steel?
No, we did. Yeah,
But you can't
when
hear
we
it,
were when we were starting out, I tried. Yeah. Nowadays we don't do that anymore because our forge welds are so good these days because of the 80-ton press and the heavy machines. So we didn't have a single D-lamp since we bought our press. So
And I guess you would not be able to hear inclusions. It would be like
no.
a little bit duller sound, but like
Yeah, maybe,
on a
but
small scale.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you flex it before that you can guess the hardness of a steel.
That's right.
So yeah, so you can maybe guess that. Yeah, the note is a little bit off.
No, but I
It's
can.
for my
No,
liking.
no. But what do you mean? I can guess the hardness of a steel?
Yeah. Oh,
When
you
I-
don't remember?
Yeah. But when I know the heat treatment protocol, I can.
Mm.
So if you give me a piece of RWL34 and you tell me the hardening temperature in our oven and the tempering temperature and with or without cryo, I can predict the hardness. Usually, I mean,
Alright,
everyone can do that. I mean, that's not.
We need to get another maker on and have like a some game with you and the other maker and see who can guess the hardness based on the heat treat recipe.
But everyone can do that. I mean, if you harden, like, let's say 100 plates in your kiln and you've tested the first 20, I mean, what's going to change if the machine's the same, the protocol is the same? So why would it result in a different hardness? So it's going to be the same hardness usually, unless one of your machines is broken or whatever. But,
Unless you are doing 100 blades in a batch, and even if you have water cooled quench plates,
yeah, of
maybe
course.
the water gets a little bit, water, blah
true.
blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's better to test 10 at the start and 10 at the end of the batch. Then you get a very good.
Yeah, but
estimate.
we don't do like batches that size. So
Not yet.
no, but then we would just get another set of water cooled quench plates. So
A big brain. Yeah, but
Yeah.
first you have to find, the threshold on when it kind of changes.
I would try to be on the safe side. I mean, it's not that expensive, right? So just get a
Oh yeah.
new pair of water-cooled quench plates. So hey,
I mean, but
you can make them yourself. It's not rocket science, so it's not that hard.
I think I talked with you and with Andy about that. It's so easy to make them.
Yeah,
Actually,
it is.
I was thinking about milling, doing some fins. Nah, bro,
Nah.
it's way easier.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
way easier. Yeah, and yeah, but you still, if you are doing a batch of 100, you would like to know if you need to exchange the dice like 5 times, or you need to exchange them like 2 times, which is like 20 or like every 50 blades.
Mm.
You have to, but it's easy to monitor the water, easy to monitor the temperature of the
That's true. Yeah.
the plates.
So now you need to explain why it's way easier. I think the method that, if I remember correctly from your quench plates, you just drilled straight through the plates
Yes.
and then used a series of hoses to connect them together.
Connect. Yeah.
Or every other one together, so you can flow some water through them, which is actually a really great idea, because I always thought the same thing as Paulie. Got to find two thin pieces of aluminum, just mill out one side, and then you got to make a gasket, and then you got to screw it all together, and then you got to get the fittings, and
way too complicated.
Just redneck it, right?
Yeah. And don't hit the hoses, or have the hoses have some protection. You don't want to spill water.
We have Kevlar protection. There's Kevlar some tubes we put around it. So
these Kevlar sleeves are in my shopping cart for like almost a year, or a little bit more than a year.
Yeah.
Still haven't pulled the trigger.
Is it just a protected sleeve, or is it like a hose where you need to get some kind of a fitting onto it and stuff, where you're just sliding them over to a normal rubber hose?
Just a sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so easy. Like you don't need to use rubber hose. You can use like push connectors with air hose, and that is easy peasy. It's a wonderful solution.
So I'm guessing that the first prototype didn't have these sleeves, and the first hot knife that came onto the hose split your cooling system apart, and it sprayed all over the place.
No, I bought the sleeves right away because I saw that could be an issue.
Oh, and a small update to our listeners: the temporary solution for my air compressor, it's still a solution. It's still working. it's still going strong. It's working. It's fine.
It's almost a permanent solution now.
I will update when it fails, which is, I got a new batch of like 70 blades that needs to get sandblasted.
So that's when it's going to happen.
This is when she's going to blow.
On a Friday at about 6 p.m. when everything closes.
even if it is like Tuesday and start of the day, I'm still not going to the shop. Look, I fixed it one time, I can fix it again. It's fine.
Let's see. I got a couple more updates. The stupid PPWR packaging regulation. I looked a whole bunch more into that. Used Claude to check it out. Claude gave me a few good recommendations. I sent some emails to the 2 different companies that I use for packaging material and asked them if they already had all the regulations on file. I'm not sure of all these names. It's a bunch of numbers and letters and shit that you have to have on your paperwork. The big company that I use, Rayapack, had it all on file, so I was able to finish my paperwork for all those boxes. The other 2 companies, I guess it's good enough to just have an email back from them saying that they don't have any finalized details on the packaging. You put that into your paperwork. You just need to update it as soon as you get the update from the manufacturer. So get all that paperwork together. You need to sign them and keep them on hand. I don't expect anybody to have asked me for them, but who knows? The guy who doesn't do it is someone who's going to get screwed. So you guys should check into it yourselves a little bit more too. Also, the Edge of Hope thing is coming up soon. We'll be putting all those blades live at Knife Show Austria, October 24th and 25th. So we'll be introducing all the knife makers that are donating a knife for us this year when I get back from the US. So starting August 1st, sometime in that week, I will start to introduce those videos. And I went the lazy way this time, but I kind of like it better. last year, a lot less work, and each one of the makers will have a short video introduction that they made themselves, so we can put it up. Got that idea from Martin's little introductions for the Knife Show Austria. I think that was pretty cool. And yeah, so those will be out soon, I guess.
I have one question while we are on the legislative talk side
Yeah.
of this podcast. We also talked like in the start of June, I think, about that you need to have a button for refunding for 14 days. I think Albert told us that he already has a solution for it, which basically leads to a form. And
Yeah.
but you are not using Shopify. I think, Keith, you are using Shopify, right?
Yes. So Albert's provider did it automatically for you. I'm not sure who you guys use.
Jimdo. But yeah,
Jimdo.
they did it automatically for us. Yeah. It's a German company.
Shopify, like most of Shopify's problems, their solution is to pay monthly for an app and they'll fix anything you like. And this is where I turned into Coy Baker's suggestion and asked good old Claude to make me some code and just added it to the bottom of my page. Pretty much the same thing that Albert has. It's just a pretty basic form that you fill out and that covers my ass without having to pay monthly. I think Shopify wanted like $8.99 a month or something stupid just to have that button on the bottom of the page. So it pays off to look into some other solutions if you're especially on Shopify. Like I said, they'll nickel and dime you to crazy to death until it's not worth it anymore. Everybody wants a piece of the pie.
I mean, it's great that they offer something that you can just
Plug
get
and
it
play.
done.
Yeah.
Just plug and play. I pay the money. I don't care. But also they allow you to do some customizing where you can use your own solutions, which is pretty nice.
But come on, €9 for a fucking button on your website.
Oh, they do it for everything.
Per month.
Per month, yeah,
right?
per month.
Per month. That's ridiculous, but that's a ripoff.
I think this is a lovely. This episode is going lovely in a circle where it's too expensive. I'll do it myself.
Do it myself. I'd rather sit for hours and figure it out.
No, it's a fucking ripoff.
It's a ripoff. Yeah.
Okay.
A month.
A month.
For a button. A month.
A month. Yeah. Every month you have to pay €9 every month to have this button on your website
until eternity, until they rise the prices with inflation because they have to maintain the button.
Yeah.
So I'll give you I think I only have like Shopify's cheap. My plan, I think I pay $28 a month or something. But the more stuff you add on to that plug and play crap, like I said, each month it can go up like crazy. I think I have 2 programs that I pay for. One of them is a geolocation program, and that allows the people who come to my website, depending on what country they're from, to have the correct tax added onto their price. So I put my basic price in, and every country who signs on, they'll know where you're from, and it adds Austria's 20%. All the countries have different. I don't know. Paul, yours is crazy. It's like 20. Are you 21 or something, or 25?
VAT is 21.
21.
But,
okay.
There's
one somewhere out there that's 25. I can't remember exactly what it is. It might be Belgium or something crazy. It's stupid. And the other program that I have is one that Albert and Andy, for some reason, just refuse to use. When a customer places an order on my website and you get the order confirmation right at the thing, it says your order is on its way. Download your invoice here. And I get the email from Albert and Andy the day before the quarter of the year ends, and it's like, hey, I need this invoice. Can you guys send it to me, please? That's one of the ones I pay for because in the beginning there was a ton of people who did that to me, and it was a pain in the ass all the time to be printing them out and sending them. But you guys do it, and I just started it this time. I just send you the whole quarter, every invoice from the quarter when you ask me for one, so that you have them all on file.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it was like 5 times that I ordered from you, and I wrote, "Send me the invoice," and you're like, "Dum, go to the emails. It's there. Click the link. Click the link." But I think it confuses me because it says download your receipt and not invoice.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't
that
need
might be
receipt.
yeah. And the English one, it could be. I have to check that out. It's an automatic translation.
Yeah, and for your geolocation, it's like almost on all of my computers, I have disabled the location. Almost all of the permissions for my web browser are disabled. All of the Microsoft tracking is disabled. And
Yeah.
I'm like, if you remember, when I'm sending you links from your website, they are always in German because it's it's the default language. And I'm
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
nah,
So you get the wrong
multifarbisch.
price until you get to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cash register.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only
it's
way.
fine.
Unfortunately, that's the only way through Shopify that you can get that to work. They have a couple of things. Like I have a shipping problem with my with the knife bags. So they come in different sizes. Some of the knife bags, like the 40 and the 50 centimeter knife bags, as soon as you order a knife bag in like a G10 liner, it wants to ship 2 boxes and it charges every time. And it drives me crazy. I'm sure I've lost a shitload of customers because they think my shipping's insane. I try to write it everywhere. Like when you go to checkout, there's a tracking, the shipping page. It's all over the place. Fortunately, as a knife makers, nobody reads. But the people who order from me regularly know that, and as soon as they get an order, whether something like that, they get a shipping refund. And it also says everywhere if you get a refund and you're not sure what it's for, it's for shipping. Like it says that at checkout. And I get emails all the time. Hey, were you not able to ship something because I got €6 back or something? I'm like, no, you just paid too much for shipping.
Yeah, I mean the website is working great, except for the geolocation, but it's all my fault. The only gripe, and it is not with you, but with GLS, I think, is because I have to call them for them to deliver it to me because they cannot get the number, even if you write it on the parcel. They, you know, so
In
I know
Lithuania, they
I
don't
need.
even try. As soon as the package comes in, they're like "Psh," to the package shop. There's
Hmm?
nothing you can do about it.
But it's so strange for me because like here it is standard that you need to add a phone number for them to deliver it because they need to meet with you. They don't leave it at the door, they give it into your hands even if they don't require the signature. And I remember when I was selling more to US before the tariffs, like my I use a middleman company who allows me to use multiple shipping carriers like UPS, FedEx, DPD, whatever, be it GLS, all of them. And they require to input the phone number. But the Americans refuse to input their phone number because in US it is
Yeah.
not non-mandatory, I guess, for something to be delivered to your address to have your, your phone
Yeah.
number. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, can you give me your phone number? Why do you need it? Why do you need? Will you call
I
me?
think
Why
they're
do
gonna
you need
start
my
prank
phone number?
calling them. Yeah, you can sell my
Yeah, exactly.
information.
Yeah. No, just give me. I cannot deliver it to you if you don't. No, you can. No, I can't.
No,
So
so this is
all
one of
that
the
local.
one of the number one things on my list when I get back. Being full time now, I want to try and work on my shipping possibilities. Now that I'll be full time, it'll be a little bit easier. I want to do something where the customer can choose which shipping company they want to use because, like you said, you and a couple of people, depending on where you live, apparently GLS is horrible. Same thing is depending on where you live. DHL can be horrible. They're different everywhere depending on how far away you are, I guess, from the main distribution center or something. I don't know what it is, but a lot of people have zero complaints with GLS, and a lot of people have nothing but complaints. One of the things on GLS with Lithuania, there's 2 countries, and with Lithuania, they will not allow me to put a phone number, and they will not even allow me to put your email in there. As soon as I put your email on the form, when I go to pay, it says there's an error, and it keeps doing errors and errors and errors until I take your email and your phone number out.
I think the other country should be Poland, I guess.
Possible.
But in my case, GLS is not even the final courier who is delivering it to me. So
Right.
I have to know you know, you kind of know who they are working with. So with me being, like I have to call them every time I get a parcel from you. I call them up and I say, lady, could you please, I don't know, on a post-it note, could you write down my phone number and just add it to every parcel that comes to this exact address to me? And she's like, GDPR, sorry, we cannot do it. So you have to call every time. And you know what happens every time I call? they say, "Oh, you are calling on a higher rate line. You will pay like 70 euro cents a minute." Blah blah blah, and they continue to talking like, "If you want blah blah, just give me the speed dial. I don't
Hurry
want
up.
to listen to
Yeah.
the whole menu." Which
No,
has
I-
like 3 steps, and then I'm in a fucking queue, and they say, "You are 14th, bitch. You just started working like 10 minutes ago. How do you have 14 people already waiting for it? You are doing something not that good, you know, if you have 14 people waiting."
I even
So,
started manually writing your phone number on it, and then I would have it put into the label, like instead of your business name, it had your phone number,
Mhm.
but they don't want to read the label. They don't give a shit. If it doesn't come up when they scan it, it needs to come up on that
Mhm.
scanned piece of information. Then they just put your package to the side, and that's the end of it.
yeah, and it will be sitting in a warehouse, and they could say, "We cannot deliver it." But you know, I kind of like it because I get notified every time I get a parcel, but I am not notified that I'm getting a parcel from you because they have no details of me, right? So I have to know it. So that's kind of sad. You cannot send me surprise gifts, you know, that you would otherwise.
Surprise free shit.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, to our listeners, if you have ever used gator piss, that is for a stainless steel knife on N690, let me know about the results. I'm very interested. Is it black? Is it gray? Is it grayish? Let us know. Balti Blades on Instagram, or maybe High Carbon Podcast on Instagram.
I could always send you a package with GLS of the new Gator Piss if you place an order.
I was so tempted to buy it with this order of Ultem, but I'm like, nah. Next time. So, and it's been like 3 next times. So, you know, we'll see. I want to know if it turns black.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how even ferric turns ABL almost like purely black with the right treatment. So I would love to get that and do some nice stonewash finished knives. So, but
What do you guys think? Was that the good last show before I fly home to the family? Well, you got some more info for us.
Nope.
Nope. We will miss you. Bring some gifts back. Bring me trousers that have like American flag, something very American.
Okay.
I would be happy. Okay.
Obesity.
I'll bring you an American flag banana hammock bathing suit.
American flag banana. I would really love something that, you know, screams American. So that would be it. Can be as small as you want, but something really, you know.
Make a mental note of that. We'll find something for sure.
Knowing your mental game.
Wait a minute, I'll email myself. All right. Yeah, Paulie, are you still taking requests for that game you were working on a while ago, or are we done with that? Hot takes? Or did everybody start ripping us off too much that you don't want to do them anymore?
Yeah, they started ripping us off from the game that we stole, which the other podcast stole from the radio shows. I think if you have I did not get a lot of very good hot takes, to be honest. Shame on you, audience. I mean, you are just stating correct opinions. These are not hot takes. I would like something, and keep in mind, Dom, DB Blades, I'm addressing you. It should be about knife making. Okay, nothing else. Well, maybe something like adjacent to knife making, that would be interesting. If you have a good hot take, that would be fine. You can send it in. We will talk about it in the show, especially the next show, most probably, or the show after. That would be lovely. I promise to keep you anonymous. I did, guys, vouch for me. You never knew who was behind those hot takes. It's some good vouching.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
No, it's true. We never heard anything.
No, once.
They heard not once. Exactly.
No, once.
Once? What do you mean once?
Yeah, Docksmith knives sent in a few.
Yeah, but because it was not anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
did
true.
not care.
Mm,
Big
that's
love,
true.
Bruno. By the way, that was a good hot take, Bruno. Everybody be like Bruno. Send in some good hot takes. And I think that Turkish twist is not overrated. It's a very good pattern. And I think it does not matter how complicated the end pattern is. If it does not look interesting, it does not matter how hard it was for you to make. So that was a hot take for the end.
We should have him back on the show too.
Yep.
100%.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. 2 weeks of vacation, and then we'll be back to normal again. We'll talk to you guys all next week. Bye for now.
Bye. Yeah, High Carbon Podcast on Patreon. Support us, motherfucker. High Carbon on Patreon.